Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Poet. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright, now what we here on today, Mr. Roll Up? Well, y'all see what it say? Parole. Parole board interview. How about that? Let's get into it.
Did to get yourself put in prison, and why do you think you're ready for release today?
I had slept with my friend's mother, and I really didn't recognize that it was wrong at the time, but I do know that it was wrong now.
Now, I too cracked up when I first heard this, but this is no laughing matter. The mother that he's referring to is an 80-year-old woman with Alzheimer's. You can't make it up. Now, we are going.
An 80-year-old woman with Alzheimer's disease. This is who you had sex with. Your friend's mama that's 80 years old with Alzheimer's. All right.
To hear from the victims of this case and the pathetic excuse made by the perpetrator. It certainly does take a different kind of monster to do this to someone's 80-year-old mother with Alzheimer's. Now, with that, let's jump into this Louisiana parole hearing.
Right. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Webster, Bayou, Dorchette, Dorchette. I'm in Baton Rouge, so I don't know how to talk anymore.
What's going on here, everybody? We got 3 parole board analysts. So what that mean? Flop, denied. How about that?
Okay. But thank you for hosting us today. Would you introduce yourselves as staff, please?
That'd be Major Culpepper,
Okay.
and I'm Jason Johnson. I'm the program manager for the sex offender treatment unit.
Okay. Thank y'all for hosting us here. And we're talking to Mr. Joe Howell. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what is your DLC number, Mr. Howell?
635477.
Okay, and you're here because you have applied for parole, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, your case has been assigned to Mr. Freeman, to my right, and the rest of us have read your case, so we're familiar with it, but he's gonna be the lead interviewer, so I'm gonna go directly to him and turn it over to him.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Prater. Mr. Howell, I'm gonna put some preliminary information into the record. You are officially classified as a second felony offender. Your parole date was 10/17/24. Your good time date is 4/20/28. Full term date is 8/3/2030. You had a total sentence of 13 years and 2 months for the offenses of third degree and possession of parole exam and probation.
I feel like that should have been first degree rape. You know what I'm saying? It's different degrees when it comes to crimes. A third degree is like the lessest crime. First degree is like the highest of the crime. Second degree is like midway. You know, if he raped his friend's mama that was autistic and she's 80 years old, it's like, come on, man. That should be an automatic first degree, you know. But let's dig into it. Let's find out why it's a third degree. How about that?
Technical felony, which you must have got revoked while you for this charge. Is that all sound correct, Mr. Howell?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, while we have you there, did he complete his sex offender treatment? I see he did 1 and 2.
Yes, sir. I'll remind the board, our credit is put in differently than anywhere else, and so whenever it says Bossier sex offender treatment 1 and 2, it really means all 4 phases of sex offender treatment, and he has not technically completed yet, but he is going to finish on the 28th of this.
You through. You through. How many times I told you? Before you go see the parole board, you got to have your programs complete. It don't matter if you was going to finish completing it tomorrow, next week, none of that. If you don't have that shit already completed by the time you see the parole board, it's an automatic flop, man. Straight up. And the thing about that also is that you can't complete the program like a day or two before you go see the parole board because it got to get processed and all this shit. So you literally like gotta have this shit done. I say within like a month before you see the parole board. If you don't got your programs completed like within a month before going to see them, it's gonna be a flop. This guy ain't even completed this shit at all, let alone completed it a month or so before going to see them. He ain't completed it at all. So guess what that is? Denied. How about that?
Month. There's really nothing stopping him at this point. He's gonna graduate.
All right. All right. And Warden, do you have anything to say about him? Any comments, any problems y'all have with him, anything like that?
No, sir, we ain't had no issues out of him at all, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Howell, first off, tell us what you did to get yourself put in prison and why do you think you're ready for release today?
I had slept with my friend's mother, and I really didn't recognize that it was wrong at the time, but I do know that it was wrong now.
There you go. There go your flop. What the fuck is you talking about? You didn't realize it was wrong at that time. You not even half of, well, you might be just about half of this woman's age. And you raped her? It wasn't consensual. It wasn't like she said, hey, I want to have sex with you. You raped her. And she is autistic. And she is 80 years old. And she is your friend's mother. You mean to tell me didn't none of that ring a bell before you pulled your pants down and did anything with her? None of those key points rung a bell with you. None of them. None of them. But now since you've been in prison for what, about 10 years, at least a good 10 years now you understand that it was wrong. Why you understand now? Because the Damons and the Green Miles been in there beating your ass and taking your cookie from you. They took your manhood from you. Now you understand you had to get your manhood took from you to understand what you did was wrong. But when you did what you did, it wasn't nothing wrong with that. Don't worry about it. You about to get flopped. How about that?
And I apologized to the woman's daughters. I was actually friends with one of her daughters, and
you talking about you apologize to the daughters. What the fuck do the daughters got to do with it? I mean, I get it. Yeah, they all a family and things like that. But if you didn't touch the daughters, they don't got nothing to do with it. So you sitting up here talking about you apologize to the daughters, man. Come on, man. Your ass is a goofy, man.
her other daughter worked for the DA in Cleveland Parish, and she's the one that pressed charges on me. So I know what I done was wrong. I regret it, and I feel like I've paid for my.
Okay, and why do you think you should get out? Think you paid for your time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how old was the victim in this case at the time of the offense? Do you know about?
In her 70s.
Okay. And I just want you to know for the record that the victim family is strongly opposed. Everyone that we spoke to in the family is opposed.
Look, you heard that. He said that the family is strongly opposed, meaning that they do not want him to get out. What did I say beforehand, a couple of videos ago? When you got witnesses or victims saying, hey, no, don't let him out. 9 times out of 10, the parole board not going to let you out. That's what this shit is all about. It's all about what the people in the back got to say. This is the time when the people in the back get to talk. This is the time when the people in the back opinions matter. At this point right here. And guess what? The people in the back, they oppose it. No, don't let him out. Flat out. No matter how remorseful or how much he regretted or none of that hoe ass shit. He touched our mama. Our mama was in her 70s, damn near 80 years old, and she autistic. And you did this to her. Not only that, this is your friend's mother, meaning that you know her kids and everything, and you still did this. No, don't let him out. Flop. Parole denied. How about that?
Uh, and she had to go to a nursing home after this event. Do you kind of realize now what kind of trauma you caused this lady?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you ever took victim awareness?
Victim awareness.
Let me help you answer that question. For people in his program, we have a version of victims awareness for sex offenders. It's called empathy and awareness, and he has taken that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have no further questions.
Mr. Howell, the classes you're taking now, what are you learning from them? Can you tell me something about it?
We took stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4 on risk management. And then I've done completed math and empathy and awareness and living in balance.
Which one is impacting you the most? What did you learn from?
The risk factors, the risk management.
What'd you get out of that?
I learned that you can't be in denial, and ain't no use in trying to justify nothing that you've done wrong. And I take responsibility for my actions, and sorry for what I've done.
Okay, I have any questions.
Okay, let me ask you, what you say, and it's kind of interesting, you said at the time you didn't know it was wrong, but you know it was wrong now. What kind of condition was this 70s?
Look, did not say that. Did not say that. Again, I don't pre-watch these videos. Did not say that. How you didn't recognize what you did at that time was wrong. This is your friend's mother. She is 70 plus years old. She is autistic. And you forced her. Those are 4 key factors in this whole situation. You mean to tell me you didn't understand none of that was wrong when you did what you did? It took for you to go to prison and get your asshole towed the fuck up for you to realize now what you did was wrong? Look at his face, everybody. His head is down. He know he bogus. And he know they been in there tearing his ass up. And now he want to come up here and say, oh, I didn't know it was wrong at the time, but I know now. Fucking joke, man.
Something-year-old lady in.
She had a disability.
What kind of disability?
What do you call
Was it mental?
it? Alzheimer's.
Okay. So you knew she couldn't give consent because she wasn't capable of that. Is that correct?
Yes.
In what world could you not have realized that was wrong?
I wasn't thinking.
What's him?
Okay, were you on drugs or anything, or
Yes, sir.
what kind of drugs?
Hydrocodone and Somas.
All right. Have you taken some substance abuse classes?
I took AANA at Cleveland Parish and Celebrate Recovery, and I took mass here.
Okay. That's all I've got.
How long have you been incarcerated?
11 years.
And you're serving a 13-year sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No other questions, Ms. Freeman? I think it's your vote.
Okay, first off, none of your good time is on your record. So I'm not sure whether maybe you can't. No, you got to earn it because you got a good time date. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe they hadn't gotten into time comp yet. But we need to make sure all those classes are completed, especially substance abuse and free release.
you go. They said in a nutshell, we about to deny you. You ain't completed all your programs. They gonna deny him anyway because of what he did. But again, on record, they make it look good by saying, "Oh, well, you didn't complete your program, so denied." That's just for the record. But his ass is flopped anyway. Again, when it's three or more parole board interviewers, you through. You through. That's just how it go. How about that?
Uh, at this time, we need to talk to the victims. Mr. We'd like to hear what you have to say.
Okay. I mean,
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, first off, when he said that I worked at the DA's office and I'm the one that had him arrested, that's not the case. So again, he's blaming me for what his actions were. He done this himself. The cops were called. The cops is the ones that arrested him. The DA's office itself didn't have anything to do with this. And we turned it over to the Attorney General's office to prosecute. So no, I did not have anything to do with him being arrested. My mother was not in her 70s. She was 80 years old, and she had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's for about 3 years prior to this happening. Yes, she was living at home by herself. I had a sister living there with her at the time, but we didn't expect her to stay there 24/7. And yes, he might have been a friend of the other sister, but that still didn't give him the right to sleep with my mother that had Alzheimer's, that couldn't even remember who he even was, didn't even know who I was. So no, I'm not going to take that he's blaming me still for this right here. He has wrote me many, many, many letters before he got incarcerated, telling me that my mother asked for it. No, she did not. So that's really about all I have to say right now.
The toughest part of All right, another quick little intermission. As you can see, that was one of the daughters that spoke up and said that he lying. He knew what was going on. She was in her 80s. She had Alzheimer's a couple of years prior to this, meaning that he knew this. And he trying to wiggle his way out of it, but that's why you have witnesses that don't play that shit. How about that?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that.
Okay, is Miss there with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Miss, what do you have to tell the board?
You know, I'm so angry because we were taking care of her at home. We had been taking care of her at home. After this was done to her, we had to put her in the nursing home. To us,
What y'all notice out of this whole interview? His head been down the whole time. That go to show you his grief and his guilt and how sad he is and how he know that he wrong for doing what he doing. Look at his hairline, everybody. How about that?
that sentenced her death right there. And she was my best friend. I would go pick her up. We would go get ice cream and go ride. I feel like even with her having Alzheimer's, I could have continued to do that for a few more years and enjoy life with my best friend. I cry every day for her, even after 5 years. I would like to know why, but I want to never get the answer. Why did he do this?
Okay, Miss, I have just one question for you.
Yes,
You
sir.
knew him. Did he know your mother had Alzheimer's since you
Yes,
didn't
sir.
know?
He most certainly did. We knew his dad. I know his brother. They are great people. And he knew she had Alzheimer's.
Okay, yes,
And it would be like he would come in her house during the day when he knew Pat was at work, and I was probably on the road because I drove a truck.
Mhm.
And he never went in at night, but it was during the day. But then he would go in and do whatever he did to her. And she would tell me, she would cry and tell me, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I had to live with, and he just leave out of her house. And he just finished pleasuring himself off of her and her not knowing and not in her hurt.
Yes, ma'am. I got you. Appreciate y'all joining us today. I know
Thank y'all.
it's very hard. Okay, I'm ready to vote when y'all are off this.
Ready.
Okay,
All right, well, here go the smoke. Here go that quarter in that backwood again. Y'all ready? How about that?
due to him knowing the state of the victim, and he only got a 13-year sentence on a horrific charge, my vote today is to deny. And victim opposition.
I concur with Mr. Freeman.
Okay, and I concur with Mr. Freeman. The time is 9:36. Your parole has been denied. That's the end of the hearing, 9:36.
Okay, and there you have it.
Well, there you go. What was the surprise? We all knew he was hooked and booked. His whole parole hearing, he had his head down. He ain't looked up not one time. That is a sign of guilt within itself. Not only that, hearing from one of the witnesses, she said that he repeatedly did this. He did this while everybody was gone. He was going over to this woman's house when he knew everybody was gone. And he was taking advantage of her. And it took for her to come to her senses and be like, hey, this is not right. Even though she have Alzheimer's disease. She, maybe I might have said autistic earlier, my bad. Come to find out is Alzheimer's, right? They kind of like real close in wording, but they very different, you know. So come to find out it's Alzheimer's disease, meaning that she forget a lot of shit that's going on. Autistic means like they not on the spectrum of like, you know, regular people doing regular things. They a little more hyper, a little more active, you know, they more extra than the average person. That's an autistic person. But an Alzheimer's type person is a person that forget a lot of things. And he tried to take advantage of that thinking, oh, well, she won't remember me doing this. She won't remember me doing that. She ain't gonna remember. Or the family member's gonna take it as, well, you know what? She got Alzheimer's. She don't remember everything too well. So here's my time to take advantage of the situation. Player. God don't like ugly. And when you do ugly by people, God will strike your ass. And here's your strike right here. You ain't here in that damn jumpsuit that you've been wearing for the past 11 years with your head down in front of the parole board with that goddamn Batman symbol as a fucking hairline. And it ain't even a correct Batman symbol. You know what I'm saying? That's a Jackman symbol. How about that? It's been another episode of Roll Up a Poet. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.